First things first, I'm going to take hand sanitizer because I've been touching stuff and I'm really not trying to put on more bacteria. And also, I know my hair is a mess. I just took a shower, so sorry. Every morning when I wake up, my room is really cold, so my voice gets really weird like that. But it'll come back throughout this video. And I'm also going to be sipping coffee because it's currently 8:30 in the morning. It's way too early. And I always drink coffee in the morning, so if you like to drink coffee in the morning, you can drink coffee with me and watch my video. First product I'm going to be taking today is the Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cool Matte Skin Primer. I've only tried this product once with another primer, so I really haven't fully been able to see what the capacity of this is, like if it's good, if it's bad, so I'm gonna try it out. If you guys are wondering, I have oily combination skin, so we'll see, and it does have a cooling effect when I put it on. Okay, so the first question I always get asked is, well, these are the first two main questions I always get asked, is who's my bias in BTS and GOT7? So my bias in BTS is, it's a tie between Namjoon and Jungkook. It switches all the time. And then my bias in GOT7 is Jinyoung, and if your bias is Jinyoung, you know my pain because I saw GOT7. I'm gonna be taking the Bobbi Brown. This is her vitamin enriched face base. This is a product that BTS use. If you guys want more information about this or how I know they use it, I'll leave the link to that video down below. I'm gonna be putting this on as an eye, not an eye cream, but an eye primer because I have really dry under eyes. So yeah, they are my two bias. And then Jinyoung for GOT7, if he's your bias too, you know my pain. I went to the GOT7 show in LA and Oakland, and I honestly got attention and got noticed from every single member. Like Jackson held my hand. Jackson was right in front of me for like a solid like 10 minutes. Like he slapped my hand, held my hand. Bam Bam gave me his towel. Youngjae took my phone. Mark Twan literally like stared at me for a solid 5 minutes. Like I have it all on video and I made a video about it, all that stuff. And then I think JB was in front of me, or like he stepped down stage or something to be near me, not be near me specifically, but he was near me. And then, yeah, just Jinyoung, like I barely even saw him both shows and I had barricades. So yeah, I think it's just, if you're Jinyoung's, if he's your bias, you pretty much get no attention from him, which is so annoying. And then a lot of you guys also asked, how did I get into K-pop or BTS specifically? So growing up, I grew up as an Asian American. I was born in Vietnam actually, so that's my ethnicity. I'm full Vietnamese, in case you guys are wondering. I always get a lot of questions on this and a lot of people actually don't believe me when I say it. I even have gotten into arguments with people at work. I used to work at the Shila shop over summer and people always argue with me about my ethnicity. Either I'm Chinese or Korean or even sometimes Japanese when I have a lot of makeup on. But no, I am 100% Vietnamese. I was born in Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City, and I came to America when I was one with my family, obviously. And yeah, so I grew up here Asian American. I grew up in a very white area or neighborhood, so I never really listened to K-pop or even Vietnamese music besides from my parents. They would listen to like Vietnamese music here or there. So I mainly grew up listening to like the Jonas Brothers, One Direction. I never really cared too much about K-pop, to be quite honest. Obviously, I liked the classic songs like Wedding Dress and stuff. Like those are like classic songs I feel like everyone likes, even if you don't like K-pop. But I was never into Girls' Generation or anything like that. The music was just not my style. And then I got into BTS and K-pop through my job. I was really actually debating if I'm going to mention this or even talk about this because I don't want to get asked questions about it. I'm not going to answer it. If you guys ask me questions about it, I'm literally not going to answer it. Whatever I tell you in this video is whatever I'm comfortable with telling you guys, and that's it. So you ask for more information, I'm literally not going to say it. So if you guys don't know, I'm a senior in college and I'm a science major. I'm a health science major. So what that means is I'm trying to go into pharmacy school. So that's my major, health science. It can pretty much get you into any medical field. Like with this major, you get to med school, PA school, anything in the medical field, dentistry, whatever. So I'm a science major. But I have always been really good at marketing. That's like social media marketing has always been my thing. As you guys can see, I do YouTube. I know how to do social media. I know how to work social media. I've worked for several companies with their social media before. and I actually got hired. I got invited to the AMAs as a guest one year, and then I got hired from that company. So the company that does AMAs, American Music Awards, and billboards, I got hired from that company to work for them. And I worked for them for around like, not full year, like not full time or anything, but I worked for them for a little bit. And I remember during the time I was working for them. Anyway, so going back to my boss, I was working for them, and I remember it was around the time BTS, but I didn't know who the hell BTS was at that time, okay? Like they have not started picking up in America quite yet, at least in mainstream media. And I remember this was before the first ever Billboard Awards. My boss was like, hey, do you know anything about this group called BTS? And I was like, no, I don't. And he's like, oh, check them out. Like their fan base is really intense, like in a really good way. Like he truly, even now when talking about ARMYs, like I really didn't understand what he was saying at the time, but when he was talking about ARMYs, I finally understand it now. He was like hyping you guys up. He was like, they're so dedicated. I've never seen a fan base like this ever before. He was just really hyping you guys up and telling me to check you guys out. So I did. I did a little bit of research in BTS, and like I watched some stuff here and there, but I was just like, okay, cool. They're like a Korean like K-pop group. Like, okay, like he just told me to check them out, so I checked them out, and that was it. That was that, and that was how I got introduced to BTS. And then I remember I actually got asked to work the Billboard show that year they were attending, but I decided to be a good student and stay at school instead to take my final. So we love making like smart educational decisions. So annoying, I hate myself for it, but it's okay. So yeah, so that was when I was first introduced to them, but I didn't become a fan at that time because of that. I actually became a fan because then a few months later, I saw that the boys were doing Jimmy Kimmel, and they were doing a concert in LA for Jimmy Kimmel. And I remember this date so specifically. I was just walking to class one day and I saw it, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll just request tickets just to request tickets. And if I get to go, it's a free concert. I heard these boys are good. I've been seeing them all over my Twitter and timeline, because it was after Billboards, the Jimmy Kimmel thing. So that's when like stuff started picking up for BTS. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll just, you know, check it out, like whatever, see what the hype is all about. And your girl got row 2 for a free BTS concert at Jimmy Kimmel. And oh my god, this is when I fell in love with them. Like I remember I took one of my friends from Twitter. She was someone I've never met before, but I've always been following her for a really, really long time. I literally just DM'd her like, hey, so I know you like BTS and you always tweet about them. I have an extra ticket. Do you want to go? And this was before knowing how big they were and how crazy, like how much everyone loves them. So she freaked out and she loves them. I literally got a BTS 101 class in 3 days. I had to learn everything about them. And it was just a lot of overwhelming information because they have been around for so long. Just because they got popular in America at that time, it doesn't mean anything. They've been around for years. So she was trying to educate me on everything. I learned as much as I could. I really watched like as many music videos as I could, learned as many songs as I could, so I knew some of the songs. I just remember like one of my biggest impressions was, I remember Jin. I always thought he looked like Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon. I don't know why. That was just something that I always referenced him as. I don't think my friend understood the reference. I was freaking out because I really loved Sailor Moon, and I was just like, why does this boy look like the human version of Tuxedo Mask? Anyway, so that was that, and it was on that Kimmel. And the second these boys walked out, I kid you not, I lost it. I literally lost it. I turned to my friend and I was like, I have never in my entire life have seen any boys that were this good looking, ever. And then they did their performances, they did a lot of songs. They did like 6 songs or something, or 5 or 6 songs. And I literally fell in love. After that night, I became an ARMY. Like I loved them. Like I remember I wanted to go to every event they had in LA. A fun fact, you guys know how I told you I used to work with that company that does like AMAs and billboards. I don't work for them anymore, so don't ask any questions or connections or free tickets for them. I don't work for them anymore. I actually came up with the idea for one of the BTS videos that the award shows posted online. I'm not going to tell you which one, but yeah, I actually came up with one of the ideas and the boys actually used the idea. Anyways, moving forward, I know you guys are also going to ask me why I stopped working for them, and the reason why I stopped working for them is because, like I mentioned, at that time I was a sophomore, and I just needed to make a decision for myself because I'm a health science major. I was a marketing minor, but I've always really liked entertainment and marketing. Like I'm just really naturally good at it. Like I literally, all my jobs I never really ever applied for. it was always asked of me to do. Like, they wanted me to do it. I got recruited for all these jobs. I was always one of the youngest people there. Like, I never applied. I have always been recruited because of my work ethic and how good I could get the job done. And it was my sophomore year, and I just had to make the decision for myself, because at that point on my resume, it was all entertainment stuff. Like, the company that's Billboard and Amy's, they were not the only thing, like the only company I've ever worked for entertainment wise. I've done stuff for Teen Choice Awards, which is so embarrassing. Like, not because it's Teen Choice Awards, but they filmed me, and I just looked really ugly and embarrassing. So I filmed stuff for them. I've done a few stuff here and there in LA. So I just needed to make the decision for myself. Like, it was my sophomore year. It was either do full force entertainment and switch majors completely, or stop and focus on science, because I had nothing in my resume at the time. I still don't really have much for science, but I really didn't have much for science at all. Like, I had nothing in my resume that was science related, but I wanted to be a pharmacist and go to pharmacy school. So I needed to, my voice, oh my God. I needed to make the decision for myself and for my career, what I wanted to do with my life. And me and my mom made a compromise that if I were to go to a private university, which I do go to a private university, I have a fat scholarship. My parents are not paying full price, don't worry. My mom and I made a deal that if I went to private university instead of public school, that I had to be a science major and do something in the medical field, and I traded that for a public school, because I knew how much I love the school that I'm now going to, and I know how much I personally would like having a private education than a public education, just because I like the one-on-one attention that I get to have at a private university. And the reason why we made this deal was because I did get a really, actually I got a few. I got a lot, actually, not even gonna lie. I got a lot of scholarships at the end of my high school year. I did a lot of stuff in high school, and I got a lot of scholarship. And 2 of them were a 4-year scholarship. And one of the 2 4-year scholarship, they paid for a really large chunk of my tuition for any school that I wanted to go to. So if I would have to use this scholarship on a public school, my parents would honestly pay almost zero. I'm pretty sure like almost, I would just get a full ride at any public school I wanted to go to. But if I go to a private school, my parents do pay, even though I have a fat scholarship, they do pay a hefty amount every year. So that was the trade-off, and I agreed to that. And to this day, like, I don't regret my decision, because I really have really sat about it and thought about this for years. And I do, at the end of the day, want my science degree, because I enjoy having stability in my life. I enjoy being able to do the things I do. And I feel like having a science career lets me have a lifestyle that I want. But still, like, it's hard, because even now, I get emails all the time asking me to work in entertainment companies and on all this stuff, and sometimes I do take the offer, sometimes I don't. I remember like the other day I got an email from this company, and they were like, hey, we saw your LinkedIn and we're actually coming to your school, and can I have a one-on-one interview with you? And I like messaged my friend, and I was like, why is this business company messaging me when I'm literally a science major? Like, it's just, my resume for marketing is really good compared, for a college student, it's really good. And it just sucks, because sometimes I feel like I would be a lot more happy doing marketing and entertainment. Like, I'm naturally really good at it. Like, all of my marketing classes I've gotten an A in. Like, I don't try, I don't even buy the book. And when I take the test, I'm just like, oh, this is so easy. And then when I'm in class, I'm like, dude, I learned more from my jobs than this class. Like, it's just like common sense to me. Like, some of the test questions, I'll just be like, dude, it's common sense. I remember this one exam I took from my marketing class. It was actually a social media marketing class. I got an A in the exam, and the class average was a D. So I studied the day of. Like, literally the hour before, I was going through all the PowerPoint slides, and I was like, okay, understood this, know this, like, I'm good. And it's not because I'm smart, because you guys should definitely see my science grades, because it's a real struggle out here. But yeah, sometimes I do like question my decision. But it's my senior year now, so I can't change what I've done. But if I do end up working in entertainment, you guys will see and find out. I don't know. I'm taking a year off after college to one, build more on my resume before I apply to pharmacy school, if I do apply, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to be applying. And also just mess around and like be able to live life a little bit more and kind of figure out who I am as a person, because I feel like there's still so much more to life than just school. I love undergrad. I had an amazing time. But sometimes I just need to breathe and be like, okay, what's the next move in my life, rather than just rushing into like higher education, because, you know, pharmacy school, med school, PA school, dental school, that stuff is expensive, and mommy and daddy ain't gonna be paying for that. So yeah, I need to figure it out because I'm gonna be paying for it. Okay, so someone said, how many relationships have I been in the past? I have been in 2 relationships. 2 of the 2 boys cheated on me, so your girl has the biggest trust issues, but it's okay, because my biggest advice to you guys about relationship wise, I have to tell my little sister this, like, date, yes, and if you get hurt or someone hurts you, don't let it affect every relationship you have in the future. And I know that's easier said than done, but I used to be like, I hate boys so much, like, screw boys, like, I got cheated on 2 out of 2 times, like, what the heck. But then I realized, and I grew up and realized, the boys I was dating was just really terrible boys who were not raised correctly. But I was actually able to meet other boys that I realized, like, wow, like, you really do have the whole package. Like, I might not date you, but there are boys out there that have the full package that will treat you right and like won't treat you dirty. You're just gonna have to find them, you know? Next question. This question I've been getting asked a lot, and it's kind of funny that I get asked this, but anyways, I'll answer it for you guys. A lot of you guys have been asking me what my parents think about my concert spending habits. And honestly, I actually think my parents are really proud of me. I know that might sound weird to you, but growing up, my family and I were really, really poor. Like most Asian American families who come and immigrate to America, they're not rich. They don't start out with a lot of money. Usually your parents literally spent every money they had to come to America. So we came here very, very poor. And I remember growing up, because I grew up in a very white society, I never had the money to go to all these concerts. I remember one time when I was in like 4th grade, my friend always went to all of these Jonas Brothers concerts, and I was like, Mom, can I please go? Like, can I please go? Like, money was really tight for my parents, and my mom was like, okay, how much is it? And it was like $50 tickets for like nosebleeds. And she was like, okay, I'll let you go. And so she bought them for me and she paid for them, right? And I ended up not being able to go because we actually ended up moving houses that day and my parents needed help, so I couldn't go. But like, our family never really had money for all of these like extra necessities, like extra money for me to go to concerts. Like my parents never had time to take me to go to concerts, or like, you know, because if they take me to go to concerts, that means that they would have to not go to work and not make money that day. And also concert tickets are quite expensive. And honestly, at that time, my parents were more focused on, since I'm from Vietnam, my dad's entire family side is still in Vietnam. And I felt like my parents were more focused on saving money to go see his family in Vietnam as soon as possible. Just because, you know, you miss your family, you get homesick. So I understood that. And yeah, so I really never got the chance. By the way, I'm taking Suspect and Naked 2 palette, everything all over my eyes. I never really got the chance to always go to concerts like most kids, as you probably thought I was able to like attend every concert as a kid. Actually, no, I was not able to at all as a kid. And now as a 21-year-old who makes my own money, like yes, my parents help me pay for school, but any extra necessities like going to concerts, buying all this like high-end like Givenchy makeup, I paid for it. I work, I save money, I paid for it. And I feel like my parents are really, really proud of that. I've always been someone who, if I wanted something, I go and get it. That's why I'm telling you guys, like, yeah, although I'm missing a few tickets to BTS, like I haven't gotten day 1 for Chicago, day 1 for LA, or I think I'm missing another one. But yeah, I haven't gotten those tickets yet. I'm not worried. Like, I'm going to get them. Like, if I want something, I've always been the kid. I feel like being an Asian American kid, like my parents don't speak English, so having that much like a struggle growing up, it really taught me like if you want something, you have to be able to figure out how to get it for yourself, because if you don't get it for yourself, mom and dad isn't going to be able to get it for you. And I honestly proved this to them, because I remember when I wanted to go to a private institution in high school, like when I wanted to go to a private university, every single person, my parents never said anything, But every single person in my family, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins literally said to my face, dream on, like you will not be able to go because your mom and dad can't afford that. Like you're funny, like that's a stupid idea for wanting to go to a private university. There's no way in heck your parents can afford that. Are you trying to put your family in debt? Like constantly saying this to my face. End of senior year, guess who had the most scholarships in the entire family with the lowest GPA? Me. So, but when I say low GPA, I didn't actually have a low GPA. My cousins were just really smart and had like a 4.0 going to UCLA. So yeah, but guess who got all the scholarships? Not them, but me. So yeah, guess who ends up going to a private school? Me. So I've always been the kid to like, if I want something, I'll go and get it. So no, they don't have an issue with me going to concerts because it's my own money. I mean, like they do say something, like they don't ever say like, oh, you should stop going to concerts. My mom would just be like, hey honey, aren't you wasting a lot of money going to concerts? Like, shouldn't you save up that money or something? And I'm like, mom, don't worry, like I have money to save up. She doesn't yell at me, she just like, you know, kind of raises an eyebrow sometimes. She was like, you're going to a lot of shows, like where are you getting all this money? And I'm like, mom, I got it, like don't worry. Yeah, so no, my parents are fine with it. Like, yeah, my parents are fine with it. And actually what's funny is that since I grew up not having a lot and I didn't really grow up privileged, and my parents were we were really struggling as a family. Not struggling, but like we were not that rich or rich at all. Sorry, I'm saying I'm a lot because this is a really uncomfortable topic to talk about online. But since all that was happening growing up, I actually now make sure that my sister gets everything that she wants. So a lot of you guys also asked me what's the longest relationship and shortest relationship I've ever been in. I've dated a lot of guys, but in relationship wise, I only had 2 boyfriends, and one of them was 2 years, and the other one was like 3 months maybe. I don't consider any of them my boyfriends or actual real relationships because the first one was a high school relationship. I don't consider that real because I don't even know if that was love or just me being in high school and wanting to have a boyfriend. I don't know. And then the other one was a whole story. I don't consider him a real relationship at all. And then you guys have asked, how many concerts have I been to? I'm gonna actually take the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula and bronze my face because I already contoured. How many concerts have I been to? Too many to count because I go to a lot of award shows. I go to a lot of Shawn Mendes concerts and just random concerts in general. Honestly, I don't know. I know that for BTS concerts, not even like just solely BTS concerts, just concerts, like not seeing them at award shows or anything like that. I think I've seen BTS in general around like maybe 10 or 11 times. I don't remember. I can honestly maybe sit here and do it out for you guys, but I don't really care to do that. And then GOT7, I've seen them twice. I went to KCON, Shawn Mendes. I've seen Shawn Mendes so many times, like more than like 8 times at least. So yeah, I've been to quite a few, then like other random concerts here and there. So I've been to quite a few. I don't know the date, don't really care to figure it out. Is BTS my ult? Yes, they are my favorite K-pop group. My top 3 K-pop group right now are BTS, GOT7, and I think possibly ATEEZ might be my 3rd, but I'm not fully into ATEEZ the way I'm into GOT7 and BTS. The only reason why I'm not fully into ATEEZ as I am into GOT7 and BTS is the only reason is solely because I haven't had the time to sit here and just watch ATEEZ videos. I watched some, but I've just been busy, so I haven't really been able to, but I'm sure I watched a few and I love them. So yeah. Another question I get asked from you guys is, what's my first ever concert I've ever been to? And like I said, growing up, we were really poor. So my first ever concert was actually in 8th grade. I worked all summer in 8th grade, or it was in 8th grade or like 7th grade or 6th grade, sometimes in middle school. I worked all of middle school tutoring all of my baby cousins to be able to beg my aunt, not even my parents are too poor to afford it, beg my aunt to pay me and my cousins to go see the Jonas Brothers. So my first ever concert was seeing the Jonas Brothers at their Camp Rock 2 concert at Demi Lovato. And honestly, little me was finessing. Like, I got a free soundcheck package from someone on Twitter, and after the soundcheck thing, I actually like got to hug Demi on stage. Like, little middle school me was like finessing my way into soundcheck already. But yeah, that was my first ever concert. I actually had a lot of fun. We got nosebleed seats, but you know, it was really fun. I remember that was my first ever Jonas Brothers concert, and I actually ended up taking my cousin who went with me to the Jonas Brothers concert, to their new concert. I'm taking the Kaja highlighter. I took my cousin who went with me to the Camp Rock 2 concert to the Jonas Brothers concert, their new tour, and I went drunk because it's a trend on Twitter to grow up and go to Jonas Brothers concert drunk and wasted. And I did that, and it was so much fun. But I remember him telling me, he was like, dude, drunk you kept telling me how like thankful you are that I went to the concert with you, because growing up we never got to do things like this, and we got better seats. Like, we got really close seats to the Jonas Brothers concert. We literally, yeah, it was so much fun. I was like, wow. Like, I remember me being drunk and telling him, like, I can't believe how life has become for us. Like, we no longer have to beg our parents to like buy things for us. We can just literally do it ourselves. And I was just like so happy I was able to go, because it was just kind of like being able to live my childhood dreams. Earlier, I remember I was talking about the topic about my little sister and just her now growing up in our family having of a more stable income. I remember now that since we didn't have a stable income growing up, and I couldn't attend concerts, one of the things I always do, you guys will probably see this in all my YouTube videos, the first person I ever offered any of my +1 tickets to any events to is my little sister. And then I always take her to concerts with me. I remember we and her we still both really love Shawn Mendes. And every time I get front row for Shawn Mendes, I always take her. She's 13, no she's not, she's 15 this year, but I was like a 11, 12-year-old. I was taking her to like front row concerts to see Shawn Mendes. And that was because since I wasn't able to do that growing up, I wanted to be able to do it for her. And this is the last question I'm going to be answering. If you guys have any more questions you want me to answer in the future, get rid of me, leave it down below, and I'll be sure to do one for you guys. But the last question I'm going to be answering is, do I get hate for liking K-pop? I don't get hate the same way as you guys. As I've been saying in this video, I grew up very in a white society, in a white culture. Although I'm pretty cultured about my own Vietnamese culture, I speak fluent Vietnamese, I do act like a certain way and talk a certain way. I know people judge me a certain way, and I get a lot of comments from my friends, joking obviously, but sometimes it gets very annoying. They're like, dude, like, you're turning into KOREABOO, you're like a white snow bunny trying to be a KOREABOO, and it's just like, dude, shut up. Like, I can like who I want to like. Just because I didn't like K-pop before doesn't mean anything. Like, my people, like my friends or the people I know would be like, you're the most whitewashed girl I know, but you're like a KOREABOO. Like, don't turn into one. Like, shut up. Like, I can like what I want to like, and I'm Asian, and me liking Asian music shouldn't be a shocker. And who cares? It's literally music. I just let me be. And I feel like a lot of people in my particular life, this has to do with me. I don't know how you guys get affected by it, but I know that people say stuff just because I do live my life a certain way. Like I've been saying, anything I want to do, I do it. I wanted to go see BTS in Hong Kong. I literally booked a flight. I want to go see BTS in Hong Kong. I want to get to see BTS in Korea. I'm gonna book a flight to see BTS in Korea. I've always lived my life a certain way, so I know that people often look at me and like see what I'm doing just to comment on it and talk in a negative way. I just kind of brush it off, because honestly, those are the same people who ask to be my +1s to events when I get invited or when I get free tickets. So yeah, I just kind of ignore the comments. It really doesn't bother me. And then like also, like, I've been getting a lot of comments from my friends actually. They're saying like, hey dude, like, you actually got me into K-pop. Like, they're not full K-pop BTS fan by any means, but they're like, dude, like, they make some pretty bomb music, and like, I got into them because of you. You make it look so cool. So yeah, it's just like a depending on the situation type of thing. You just gotta learn to ignore it. And this is basically the finished makeup look. I'm gonna go brush up my hair and change from school now. And that is all. Please subscribe if you have not. Give this video a big thumbs up for me. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye!